Mm. Jesus. Well, hello, Zoom guest. Hope all is well. Zoom guest. I'm Tim from the Summerlin office. Excuse my Jesus. We'll start this in a couple of minutes. Realtors are notoriously late, but we should have a half dozen or so hopefully hop on this and go through all things Realty One Group. So let me go grab some water and I'll be right back. Dooby dooby doo 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 doo. Hey gang, good afternoon. How is everybody doing? Don't mind me. I'm making sure I got the Zoom going the right way. All right. So what do we got so far? We have Erica. We got Jacob. Kathy Paternity is there. Melissa's there, and a Zoom user guest. I love the Zoom user guests. We never know who they are. So I need somebody who, Jacob or Kathy or Melissa, Gavin, just say hello. Turn on your camera would be nice, but if you're shy and you wanna and you're in your pajamas, that's okay. But Kathy, say hello to make sure I can hear you. Yeah, I can't hear you. Oh,
Hello?
there you are. Nice. Okay, good. And you
Can
can
you
see me.
guys hear me?
I can. Who's that? Who is that?
Melissa,
That's what I thought. I knew it was you.
I can't figure out how to get my camera working.
As long as you can see what's on the screen and you
I
can
can
hear me.
see you.
Okay, that's all that matters. You got me for 90 minutes, baby. It gets no better than okay? Gets no
Nothing
better.
better.
There you go. But Kathy and Melissa, every now and then I might just say, hey, Kath, do me a favor. What's on the screen? Meaning you've all been on Zoom before, I assume. And what happens sometimes is I'm talking about slide number 7 and slide number 12 is on the screen. And no one tells me that I'm talking about something totally different than what's on the screen. So I might say, Kath, is what's on your screen, just to make sure it matches up with what I have on mine. Okay.
Perfect.
So let's wait a little bit longer, see who else. And do me a favor, in the chat box, if you guys could, just put your name and what office you're in, because the Northwest office is part of this, and Summerlin. Oh, there she is, directly from the Caldwell group. Very nice. So just type in there your name and Summerlin, your name, Northwest, whatever, just so we know who the heck is on this thing. And let's see here. All right, we got to put on the glasses, regrettably. Let's put on the glasses here. I'm gonna test something, Kath, and tell me what you wind up seeing here in a second, if I don't mess this up. Okay, wait, there's that. There's that. Okay. What's on your screen, Kathy?
Nothing. Nevada Leadership. Oh, now I see the Realty One Group. New agent
Right, onboarding. Excellent.
Yep.
All right, we got that part working. Okay. So I'm gonna
mute myself.
say it again.
Oh, hi, Tim. I was just muting myself. This is Christy.
Oh, hey, Christy. Thank
Hi.
you. Thank you. You're driving. Be careful here, okay?
Oh, my grandma's driving, but I'll still be careful.
Very, very, very nice. What do we got? 102. I'll give it another minute or two, and I'll give you guys a quick little idea what this is all about. And if you can't stay on for the whole thing, it's okay. We record it, and we post it on Facebook, or we put it on the YouTube channel. So don't feel that, if you got to cut out in the middle, like, oh my God, you can go. So that's why we record it. Like I said, we put it on Facebook, we put it on the YouTube channel, so you can access it later on. Okay. Let me just see if there's anything else I am missing here. Oh, I think and again, if you're coming in late, and if you can, just put in your name and what office you're in, so we know who the heck is on here. We pick a name out of a hat at the end of the class and give away a trip to Hawaii. So make sure you're in there, okay? I'm lying about the Hawaii trip, okay? Just so you know, but we want to have an idea who is in here, okay? All right, Erica from the Southwest with the Erica. What part of town do you live? Do you live Northwest, South, Green Valley? Where do you live? If you don't mind me asking, Erica. I lost Erica already. Okay. Whoops. Erica lives in Henderson. Wow. Okay. Gotcha. Wonderful. Okay. All right, gang. All right, let's make this a little bit bigger, and let's get rid of this. All right, what do we got? 9 or 10 of us on here? Okay. All righty, gang. My name's Tim. I know some of you, don't know all of you. I run the Summerlin office of Realty One Group. We do this onboarding the first Wednesday of every month. Me and Jeff alternate doing it. And the goal is to just give new hires, whether you're at a key realty school or you came from another brokerage, like some of you have, just a good feeling about Realty One Group, know how to get to things. Besides me, at 2 o'clock, hopefully, excuse me, our vendor partners will join for a couple of minutes, meaning John from Epic Lending, probably Heather from Rock Title, and 2 or 3 of our home warranty people. Lisa from Achosa, Nora from American Home Shield, and Stacia from Old Republic Home Warranty. Don't ask me why we have 3 home warranty companies. I have no idea, but we have 3 for you to pick from, and they're all great, okay? So again, as you know, you don't have to use our vendors. We strongly want you to, or recommend that you do, okay? For different reasons, but the main reason is the communication part, that if you have a trouble with the lender at Wells Fargo for your buyer, and you come into my office, hey, Tim, this lender's not calling me back. We're supposed to close, Tuesday. I'll call him, but he's probably not going to call me back either. If he's not calling you back, he's not calling me back. But if it's John Morgan, who's 2 doors down from me, I guarantee he's going to call you back. Same thing with the escrow officers and the marketing people at Rock Title, okay? Over time, you'll develop relationships, and if your girl is Mary at Lawyers Title, use Mary at Lawyers Title, okay? But when something goes sideways, or you need a favor, you need some fees adjusted, that's where using our vendors, comes into play. It really is important, and make some deals close. Where if you're using someone else, they might not close. So, all right. So, Kath, I'm going to share my screen now, and tell me if it changed to what I think it changed to. All right, Kath, do we have the new agent onboarding? All right, I think you're muted, Kath. All right, who else am I looking at? All right, Melissa, what's on your
Yes,
screen?
it's new agent onboarding.
Perfect. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. I think we're where we're supposed to be. It's funny, all the managers, we kind of tease each other sometimes that, let me just get this correct here, that we've done probably 500 Zoom calls. Swear to God, since COVID hit. That's when we started all this crap. March of 2020, that's when COVID hit. I say St. Patrick's Day on 2020. It's on purpose. The Irish people did this COVID thing to us. Just kidding around, of course, kidding around. So for 5 years, we've been doing Zoom classes, and we still don't know how to do it right. We just don't. I mean, we mess it up all the time. We really do. So, like I said, Melissa or Kathy or who do I see on there now? I see Carol Taylor jumping on there. I might pick on one of you sometimes and say, hey, Carol, is this on your screen? Because sometimes I'm talking about what's on the screen, but I didn't advance the slide, and you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about, because what I'm saying is not matching up with what's on the screen. So
I gotcha, Tim.
excellent. All right, kids, here we go. All right, this is the onboarding flyer that you all got. You saw it somewhere on Zoom, or I'm sorry, on the Facebook pages, or social media, or emailed, or printed out at the offices. We do it every month, first Wednesday. And the goal is to spend an hour talking about Realty One Group, and then about 30 minutes talking about our vendors at the bottom. Okay, they'll all come on if they're available at 2 o'clock for a couple of minutes and just tell you who they are. As I go through this, you'll have all of their information. If you're a note taker, take some notes. If not, all of their contact information is throughout this PowerPoint as we go through it. If you're wondering how many agents work at Realty One Group, your question is now answered. That's how many agents are in the 4 offices of Realty One Group. For better or worse, my office has the most. I say that kidding around, okay, but I got the most, me and Wendy. God bless Wendy. If I didn't have Wendy, I'd kill myself. But altogether, it's just under 1,500 agents. And our goal is to get to 2,000 agents at some time in the future. If you see me putting my glasses on, that means somebody put something in the chat box that I need to read here. Okay, nope, nothing I need to read. Good. And hopefully with your help, which I'm going to explain to you in a minute, you're going to help us get to 2,000 agents. And if you are helpful, it literally could save you thousands of dollars. I swear to God. We're rolling out a promotion. If you're in the Northwest, Jeff may have talked about it yesterday. Tomorrow in my meeting, I'll talk about it to the Summerlin agents, and all of you are invited to our Thursday meetings in Summerlin whenever you want, if you want to come by, whether you're in Summerlin or not. So any of our training classes that Wendy does, that I do, that meetings that we have, you can come to any Summerlin class that you like. But that's the current count of agents in our company in Vegas, okay? As you know, it's like one big company. Who of you does not have a key fob? Who doesn't have a key fob? Anybody?
I don't have a key fob yet.
Okay. If you
Christy,
don't have, Christy, if you don't have a key fob, you need to get one. It's 25
Okay.
bucks. Call Suzanne or
I think
Bianca.
I paid for it already.
Okay, you probably did. Yeah, you paid for it already. Come in and get it because you're going to need it. You're going to go to the other 3 offices while you're with us for something. You know, whether it's to meet a client or you're over in that part of town and you want to grab a coffee. Okay, instead of going to Starbucks, go into Green Valley and use a coffee machine. We have a girl from another office, swear to God, been with the company 7, 8 years. I don't even know if I know her name. I think I know her name, but she's not in my office. Every morning, 7:45, 8:15, she comes in, gets her latte, and leaves. It's unbelievable. Doesn't say good morning, doesn't give a wave, but I know she works for us, but we're her Starbucks every morning. So use us for Starbucks if you like. So just a thought. But my point is you're going to need that key fob because on a Saturday or a Sunday, you're going to need to go to another office. And instead of calling me to meet you there and let you in, because that ain't going to happen, you're going to have the key fob to let yourself in. Okay. Let's see here. Let me see if I can advance the slides here. Oops. Okay. One of these is the right answer. And the first right answer that you put in the chat box wins a Realty One Group t-shirt. That's right, fans, a Realty One Group t-shirt. How many of those 4 numbers, one of them is the right number for how many single family homes as of 20 minutes ago was in ER status in our MLS? A, B, C, or D? 65, 76, 75, 76, 85, 86, or 95, 75? A, B, or C, put in the chat box. The first right answer will get a Realty One Group t-shirt. We have a whole closet full of that stuff. All right, I have an A, I got a D. Well, let me see here. So who was the first one that answered? All right, Gavin was the first one to answer. Melissa was second. Christy. All right, oh, good. I'm glad you guys are taking some guesses here. The correct answer is, it is A. As of this morning or an hour, whatever I said, a couple minutes ago, 6,576 single family homes were in AR status. So Gavin Smith, Gavin, what office are you in? Are you in my office, Gavin? Good. All right, Gavin, you get a t-shirt. So next time you come in, just see the girls up front in our training room. We have a big closet in there with a bunch of t-shirts. So you pick out the color, the size. But the reason I use this slide, gang, is that you need to know this stuff. Once you have MLS access, every day you need to go in there, hit a couple of buttons, and know how many homes are for sale. Okay? Total, if you put condos in there and townhomes, I think it's like 9,400, just so you know. So there's like 6,500 single family, 9,400 everybody else together. Those are things you need to know on a regular basis to share it with your clients, okay? Or just conversation pieces. If nothing else, it'll make you look really smart. Really, when you're talking to clients, okay? Boo, that was a trick question. Well, sorry, Melissa. You know, you win some, you lose some here, baby. It is what it is, okay? All right, let's move on to some more important stuff here. If I can figure it out. Okay, gang. This is the Summerlin team. Everyone should know me and Wendy. That's our contact information. All of you, if you're in Summerlin, should know Suzanne and Vianney, or if not, you'll get to know them. And of course, we have Maria, who is the TC if you choose to use her. And she's compliance when your deal closes to make sure you get paid on time, that your file is in order, you're not missing forms, you're not missing initials, you're not missing signatures, because we don't want to hold your check, okay? We'll talk more about that later, how quickly you could get paid, but you're only going to get paid if your file is complete in SkySlope, okay? So if you're in Summerlin and you have a problem, you reach out to me and Wendy. If you have a question about billing, you have a question about something to do with your credit card, if you have a question about how to scan from the office to yourself or print, you want to print in the office with your laptop, Suzanne and Vianney will help you with that, okay? And Maria, you'll never meet Maria unless you have a transaction. If you don't have a transaction, you'll never have the pleasure of meeting Maria. So hopefully you'll have a transaction and you'll get to meet Maria, okay? But this is all of our contact info, okay? So you guys can find us. This is the same information for the Northwest office. Jeff doesn't have a Wendy. I'm fortunate to have a Wendy. The reason being is that, you know, I have more agents than Jeff, okay? So Jeff's up there kind of by himself, but he does have Katie and Mackenzie, who are great. Just a little background real quick. When I started Realty One Group in 2019, for 3 years, I was Damon and Jeff's sales manager for the Summerlin and Northwest office. So for five days a week, 3 days I'd be in Summerlin, 2 days I'd be in the Northwest, helping out all the new agents and Jeff and Damon any way I could, okay? And then in 2022, I got into the spot here running the Summerlin branch. But I know Katie well, I know Mackenzie well, they're great gals. If you're in that office, there's not much they can't answer for you, okay? The only difference up there is they double as the TC compliance person, where we have a dedicated person, Maria, and Vianney and Suzanne are at the front desk handling all that stuff. Katie and Mackenzie do all of that. They do all the office admin stuff, the front desk stuff, compliance stuff, TC stuff for the Northwest office. Okay, if you need a key fob, they'll get it for you. If you want your laptop connected, they'll explain to you how to do that. Okay, and that is their email, contact information, Jeff's, all that kind of good stuff. Okay. Any questions about this stuff, gang? Pretty self-explanatory for the most part, right? We're good. Shake your head, something. Let me see somebody's head. There you go. Thanks, Christy. Okay, this is the fun part. Realty One Group has always had a policy that once you join us, if over time, whether that be 2 months or 5 years, if you refer 3 agents to one of our offices and we hire that agent, when it gets to number 3, again, that could take 6 months. You can never refer someone. It's up to you. But when you get the 3rd hire under your belt, referred to Realty One Group, you would have 1 year of your $100 a month waived. So you send in someone this month, you send someone in December, and a friend of yours joins in June of 2026. From June of 26 to June of 27, your $100 is waived. So we credit you $1,200. Not a bad gig. You know, it's okay. A lot of agents do that all the time, okay? But we're changing it up for the month of May. This is the important part, just in the month of May. If you have someone that me or Wendy or Jeff interviews, and we interview them in May, and they join us in May or early June, okay? They can't interview with us today and they join us in August. That's not going to count, okay? Preferably they join us in May or the beginning of June. Just one person that you send in, your $50 a month if you're a mentee, or your $100 a month as an experienced agent goes away for a year. Just one person. So, you know, some of you on here that I'm looking at that just joined me from other companies, okay? You might have friends at those other companies that might want to come in and talk to us. If you just send one of them in the month of May, it'll save you $1,200. But to make it even more enticing, and I don't know why Kuba did this. You know, he does stuff that blows my mind sometimes in favor of the agents, like photocopying. We don't charge for photocopies. I think that's insane. I think agents take advantage of it all the time, but he doesn't care. He's okay with not charging for photocopies, but it drives me nuts. Anyway, moving aside from that, in the month of May, if you send in 3 agents and they join us by the first or second week of June, your $100 a month is waived for the rest of your career with Realty One Group. Does everyone understand what I just said? So if you're with us for 5 years, and it's normally $1,200 a year to work here, your $100 a month, 1,200 times 5 years, that's $6,000 that you've saved. Okay, so just do the math, you know. So I encourage all of you, give me a phone number, give Wendy a phone number, a friend of a friend that you did a deal with 6 months ago that was a great agent, and you'd love to have him work, you know, with you at Realty One Group. Give us their information, okay? Kuba's making it very enticing for agents to help us grow the company in the month of May. So this is not going to happen. I had an agent come in my office an hour ago. Hey, Tim, it's John. Hey, John, what's going on? You remember last month in April, I gave you a referral, Jason? Yeah, Jason's doing great. Can we apply that towards this promotion thing in May? I can't because he joined in April. Okay, so take advantage of this. If you're a brand new student agent and you just graduated school from Key, I'm sure you have friends at Key that are still looking for a brokerage. Give their names to me or Jeff or Wendy and let us talk to them. And you might start saving $50 a month for the next year. Or when you do get to $100 a month, if you sent in 3, you never have to pay that. Okay. So in my 6 years here, he's never done this before. I'm told he did it years ago, 2015 or 2017 or whatever. But this is the first time he's done something as generous as this, meaning Cuba, since I've been here. Okay. Is this pretty clear to everybody how this works? Does anyone not quite get it? Does anybody have a question about it? We're all good? All right, I must have a smart group here today. Okay, all right, gang. All right, moving right along. So send in your friends from other brokerages, okay? So here is our partners in Summerlin. That's our Rock Title folks, Heather and Tim. Heather is your marketing gal. If you need, I don't know, you need a farm list, you go to Heather. If you have questions maybe about social media, your Google business page or stuff like that, she can help you with that, okay? You have questions about the Realty One Group CRM, she can help you with that, okay? As well as Tim Sams. Tim Sams does a lot of the training for Rock Title for Realty One Group agents, okay? So, but Heather is physically in our office, and she's also physically in the Northwest office, okay? And she's great, okay? Anything that you need title related. If you have a question about a property, you're thinking you're getting a listing soon, and you don't know if there's any liens on the property, email her. She'll pull a prelim for you to see if there's any liens on the property, okay? So Rock Title is owned by Realty One Group, in case you didn't know. So the benefit to that is they listen to us. When we call them, they answer the phone. When we have a problem, they help us. They sponsor a lot of our classes. So all I recommend, if you're new to the company, and even if you've used other title companies, give Rock Title a shot. If they mess it up, then don't use them anymore, okay? But there are some benefits to using them. Your client gets a discount on the escrow fees, okay? And the main thing is the communication part, that you're never going to go a day or two without a phone call or with not knowing about your transaction, okay? They're really good at getting back to people in a sense of urgency and knowing the deal has to close, okay? So, of course, whenever you write up an RPA on page 3, if you put Rock Title, we'd love you to do that. That's the idea. And below that are the 2 escrow officers assigned to the Summerlin office. There are 6 total escrow officers at Rock Title. Brad, Laura, then there's Sarah Martinez, Jamie Newmeyer, Kathleen Lamarche, and Rhonda Monahan, okay? You can use anyone that you want, but technically Brad and Laura are assigned to our office, okay? And you'll meet them. They come to our classes. They do training classes. They come to our meetings on Thursday, so you'll get to meet them. And John Morgan is our in-house lending loan officer. Really good guy. His office is right down the hall from mine. He has an office in the Northwest office. He has an office in all 4 offices, okay? And just so you know, you'll meet him later. Epic Title has an incentive for Realty One Group borrowers only, that they'll credit you and your buyer 0.5% towards their closing costs, or towards your commission, or towards buying down the rate. Okay, so if it's a $600,000 loan, 0.5% is $3,000. That $3,000 could be used to pay part of your commission if the buyer is not paying the percentage that you want them to. So again, we want you to give them an opportunity, just like we want you to give Rock an opportunity to earn your business. If they mess up, say, Tim, this Morgan guy, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's an idiot. Just kidding, John. John will be on here later. But give him the opportunity to kind of earn your business. He's a really good guy, okay? This is the same thing for the Northwest office. The only difference is they have Kathleen and Laura. They have Tim. They have Heather. They have John Morgan. And Brian Johnson recently moved back to Florida, so Brian's not with Epic anymore. It's just John. But these are your contact people for the Northwest office. Okay, as you can see, Heather is there Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And if I go back here, Heather is in this office Thursdays and Fridays. Monday is her floating around day. Okay, so that's all their contact information. Reach out to them, put their information in your phone. You're going to hopefully use them as often as you can and see if they can earn your business. That's all we want you to do. These are the vendor partners that we have: Win Home Inspection, Old Republic, American Home Shield, and Achosa. Somebody take a guess. Why do you think we like Win Home Inspection? I mean, I know you probably don't know the answer, but what would make us pick Phil over? And it's not money, it's not, that kind of stuff. But what would make you use one home inspection company over another? Let's say the price was the same. Anybody want to take a guess? What would be one of the things that you'd say, yeah, I use Phil because of this? Anybody? Nothing? Man, you guys are killing me here. You guys are killing me. Thoroughness. All right. Yeah, he's thorough, but so is Bridge Inspections. They're thorough too. Okay. Let me ask you guys this question. And the experienced agents, you might know the answer. Whoops. So don't answer it yet. Who can I pick on? All right, Carol Taylor, I'm going to pick on you. I'm the buyer. They just did the home inspection. Phil did the home inspection. He sent you the report. You sent it to me as your buyer, and I say I want these 5 things fixed: the faucet, the broken window, the tile in the bathroom is all nasty. I want that fixed, and there's 5 things. Okay, so the listing agent, you call the listing agent, Carol, and the listing agent says, yeah, send me over the request for repairs. I'll get all that fixed. Okay, but we don't close for 3 more weeks. Okay, so you send it over. A week or 2 goes by. You call the listing agent and say, hey, it's Carol again. Did all those things get fixed? And the listing agent says, yeah, they've been fixed. Okay. How do you know they've been fixed, Carol? How would you know if indeed they were fixed other than taking the listing agent's word for it? You have to take it.
Should I go check myself?
Okay. Yep. You can go check. The house is vacant, so you can go check. Okay. But let's say one of the repairs was fixing the coil of the condenser of the furnace. And the listing agent says, yeah, Carol, that was fixed. Don't worry, I promise. Here's the receipt from ABC Heating. Do you really know it was fixed? But you're assuming it was fixed, right? Because the listing agent told you so. What I'm getting at, gang, what we like about Win Home Inspection, and I think he was the first one to do this. Maybe Melissa or Christy can jump in because they've been in the business for a while. He was the first one I know of that after he does the inspection, when the repairs are made, he'll go back and re-inspect the repairs because he did the inspection and he doesn't charge you for it. It's a free re-inspection where other companies would charge $100, $125, to go back out there again. He does it as part of his $350 or whatever he charges for the inspection. Okay. So that's one of the main reason we like Phil and his company, that they will do the inspection, complete the report. And once you tell him it's finished or repaired, he'll go out and make sure they are. Because sometimes what the listing agent says is repaired, Phil says, absolutely not, Tim. I don't know who fixed this, but this must be his brother Raul's cousin, Billy, because this repair is a piece of crap. So by him going back out again, your buyer feels that much better that Phil found the problem, and Phil is going to confirm that the repairs are done correctly. Okay. Oh yes, Suzanne just put in the chat box. If any of you guys are around later on at 4 o'clock, John Morgan will talk about it. But also, besides the first Wednesday of every month, us doing onboarding, John, Epic Lending, does a wind down Wednesday. He's going to have a charcuterie board and whiskey and wine and beer and all that stuff today from 4 to 6. So if you check the chat box, Suzanne just posted something in there. You're all invited, whether you're in our office or not. He's doing that at all 4 offices throughout every month. He's rotating wind down Wednesdays, and we're the first one, the first of every month. So you'll get to meet Stacia, Nora, and Lisa today, I hope. Okay. Stacia confirmed. Nora and Lisa, I'm not sure if they can make it or not, but you'll get to meet Stacia, and they'll tell you a little bit about what they do. Okay. We're okay on our Meet the Team gang. I think we're all good. This is our training calendar of classes that we have in May. Okay, I'm not going to go through it with all of you, but we post it, we email it, we print it out and put it by the copier at each of the offices. Come to these classes. A lot of them are geared towards newer agents, but if you're an experienced agent and you haven't done an open house in 4 years, you might want to come to one of our open house training classes. What the hell, right? Might as well, if you haven't done one in a long time. And find the newest techniques and what's working, what's not working. Okay. So, and these classes, as you can see, they're at different offices, whether it's Green Valley training, majority of them are in Summerlin and Northwest. Okay. But make sure you have this calendar. We mail it out every month or email it out every month, and come to as many of those classes as you can. This is our Rev Up training for the new agents. It's every Wednesday and Friday from 9 to 11. Wendy just did a class today on winning the listing and negotiating the sale. And then Dave from the Northwest, Green Valley office does module number 10 on Friday. And then we start it all over again. We break for a couple of weeks, and then we start all 10 classes over again, Wednesday to Friday for 2 hours from 9 to 11. And they're all on Zoom. They're all recorded. If you want to check out a class that you may have missed, they're on our website. They're on the YouTube channel, all different places you can find them. Okay. But that's the upcoming Rev Up. This is the Rev Up classes moving forward. After Friday, we don't have another class until May 28th. Okay. So those of you that are newer folks on here, and even if you're on a team, if you're on the Caldwell group or the Progosian team or the Zedlitz team, check with them, but you can come to these training classes too. We want you to. You work for Realty One Group. Even if you're on a team, you're with us at Realty One Group. So I'm a big fan of you guys taking as many classes as you can. Okay. So that's the Rev Up schedule. Tim Sams does these two trainings every Monday and every Thursday. And I can't emphasize how important this is, especially the one on Monday, the OneSuite training. That's our CRM. Okay. If you don't know what a CRM is, we've talked about it when we interviewed you. This is your database. This is where you put all the people that you meet. Okay. And we have something called OneSuite that is incredible. Okay. But you got to learn how to use it. A lot of times we get all these tools that look great, but no one takes the time to learn them. And to be honest with you, especially if you're an experienced agent, you don't, it's a pain in the ass. It really is. I was at RE/MAX for 11 years, and over 11 years, they had 3 different CRMs. One was better than the other. But I paid for my own through a company called Follow Up Boss. I paid $99 a month for Follow Up Boss, but I could have used the free one at RE/MAX, and I should have, but I was too lazy to learn the new one from RE/MAX. But so I spent $99 a month for 11 years while I was at RE/MAX instead of saving that money and using the one they had, which was probably just as good. So try to attend the Monday training with Tim and then the Thursday training with Tim, where it's called One Orientation, where he talks a lot about Realty One Group also, about how to set up your zone profile, how to set up your bio, how to make sure your Google business page is set up properly. Is your Facebook page the right way? Is your website set up properly? Okay. Because every now and then we'll get an email from the real estate division that one of you made a mistake on a social media post. And if you don't take it down, it's a $500 fine. Okay. And we don't want you to get those kind of violations. Okay. So every Monday at 1 o'clock, every third and fourth Thursday with Tim, I think it's also, that's at 2 o'clock. Mark on your calendars to go to these training classes. Okay. If you go to that onerockstars.com at the bottom, you can register for the classes, get them on your calendar. Whether you go to them or not, of course, try to go to them. Okay. But at least register so you can automatically save them to your calendar. Okay. So that it's Monday morning, you wake up and you say, oh shit, there's this class at 1 o'clock. Let me jump on it with Tim about our CRM, the OneSuite training. Okay. So do your best to attend as many of those as you can. Excuse me a second, gang. I'm just trying to check something on my phone. As many of you know, I don't have any kids. I have a 19-year-old niece and a 26-year-old nephew. They're like my kids. Really, I'm their dad. It's a long story. If we ever come to the office, have a cocktail, I'll explain it to you. But the 19-year-old is going to kill me. She's 19, didn't want to go to college. She works down at the pool as a lifeguard for the Tao group with barely anything on, if you know what I mean. And it is killing me. God, it's killing me. Anyway, so that was just her texting me about something. Anyway, all right, let's get back to work here. So that's OneSuite training, and that's One Orientation. These are the 4 offices, okay? Northwest, Green Valley, Summerlin, and Southwest. If you haven't gone to all 4 already, you need to. You need to go visit those offices. in advance of meeting a client there. So Christy, so this Monday at 1 is the next here. You are absolutely correct, Christy. Every Monday at 1 o'clock. I'll go back to that page, Christy, just to make sure I'm not messing it up. Whoops, the wrong way, Tim. So there is one suite training every Monday, 1 o'clock. Okay, and one orientation is the 3rd and 4th Thursdays at 2 o'clock. Okay. So those are the 4 Realty One Group offices. Okay, Northwest is Ann Road in 95. Summerlin is over here, across from Lifetime Fitness. Green Valley is St. Rose and Eastern, and Southwest is Durango and 215. Okay. Make sure you visit these offices before you go there for a reason. Meaning, if you're going there on a Saturday to meet your client and you've never been to the Northwest, let's say you work in Summerlin, and this Saturday, your client is going to look at homes in Providence. So you're going to meet him at the Northwest office, right? Why make him drive to Summerlin? And you're going to meet him there at 10 o'clock. Okay. And you have your key fob. Okay. There's a good chance you don't know how to get into the building on a Saturday. Okay. If you look at the Summerlin office for 1 second, and you look at the Green Valley office, Summerlin, Green Valley, top right, lower left. Those front doors lead right into Realty One Group. So most of you have been to Summerlin. You open the door and you're in the office. Same thing with St. Rose and Green Valley. You open the door and you're in the office. Now, Northwest and Southwest, no can do. That front door is the entrance to the building. Then you go through another set of doors to get to Realty One Group. Your key fob does not work on that front door in the Northwest or the Southwest. You have to go around the building to a nondescript door and wipe your key fob to get in. It doesn't say Realty One Group on this door. Okay. It's just looks like a door as part of the building. Okay. You need to know where those doors are before you go to the Northwest or Southwest offices after 5 p.m. or on the weekends. Okay. Southwest, it's on the right side of the building as you go around the back. And the Northwest, the door is in the back by the dumpster. That's the best way to describe it. You go around the building in the Northwest, you'll see the dumpster, and then you'll see a door with a little black panel where your key fob will let you in. Okay. So it's important that you make sure you know where these offices are before you go there for the first time, because you don't want to meet an agent there on a Sunday and you don't know where you don't know what you're doing. You're wiping your key fob at the Northwest building and you can't get in. Because you forgot that Tim told you got to go around the building to get in on the weekends or after 5. Okay. So really, really, really important. Okay. This is all the broker's information, me, Mark, Jeff, and Jim. That's how you can find us. Another slide will have our cell numbers on it. Okay. The rule of thumb is if you work in my office and you have a question, you call me. If I'm unavailable, you call Wendy. Wendy's unavailable, you pick your favorite broker. It could be Jeff, it could be Mark, it could be Jim. Okay. But you want to come to me and Wendy first. Same thing if you're in Jeff's office. Jeff will probably say, call him first. If he's not available, he might say, call Katie or Mackenzie, during the week, or he'll probably say, call Tim or Wendy. So we all back each other up for our agents. Okay. So we have 4 offices in town and it's like one big company. Okay. Not that I know all of the Green Valley agents or I know all the Northwest agents, but I know a lot of them. Okay. And the fact that we do things together, just like this call, there's a dozen of you on here from 2 or 3 different offices. That's good. That's important. I mean, I think I told some of you, I worked for Remax here in town for 11 years. 11 years I was at Remax. Great company. Loved it. Right now, there's 9 Remax offices, just so you know, 9. And we only have 4. Anyone want to guess? Put it in the chat box, whoever gets the closest. We have 1,500 agents in 4 offices. How many Remax agents are in Las Vegas? And they have 9 offices. Real quick, just take a guess in the chat box. 200, 14, 3,000. Okay, 2,500, 3,000. All right, come on. Somebody else type something in there. 2,000. Okay. Give me a couple more guesses. 2,500, 560, 44,000. Okay, you got to crap your pants when I tell you this. Okay. There's 142 agents that work for Remax in Las Vegas. 142. Damon Caldwell's team is bigger than all of the Remaxes in Clark County. That is insane to me, right? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing for Remax. Well, it might be a bad thing for Remax, okay? But my point is, those are 9 separate offices. one franchisee doesn't like the other franchisee. When I was at Remax, I couldn't go into another Remax and use the copier. I couldn't use their bathroom. They wouldn't let me in because I didn't work for that Remax. How crazy is that thinking? Obviously, we don't think that way in Vegas, okay? We're one big company. We're separate. We have all different offices. All the managers compete against each other. Don't get me wrong. I want Summerlin to be the best, and Mark wants, Green Valley, Southwest to be the best. But there are other companies in town that they have all these offices, but they're all separate. That's not the case here. So the fact that we don't compete against each other, I'm never going to be on a listing appointment to take my own listing. I can't do that. I'd get fired. Okay, I would. Kuba would fire us if we started taking our own listings or showing buyers around town. He pays us a lot of money. He really does. And we get compensated really well to give that client to one of you as a referral. And I'll get a referral fee. Okay, so that doesn't happen at a lot of companies in town. That broker, that team leader is still producing real estate, and they're not necessarily dedicated to spending their time with you alone. So the four of us, including Dave and Wendy, do not compete against the realtors. That's kind of an important thing. Okay. Those are the photos of the 6 best looking broker managers in town, gang. Look at that. Oof. I don't know how old these photos are. Okay. I don't think they were taken last week. I'm just saying, but it is what it is. Okay. Under each of those, our photos is our cell number. So make sure you have this slide, take a picture of it, put all 6 of us in your phone. Okay. So you can reach out to us if you need us. Okay. But that's how to find the 6 managers. We don't necessarily have a relocation department. Okay. The relocation department basically works with corporations. To make a long story short, if Bernadette calls you, Pacheco, she's calling you to give you a referral, meaning Google or Amazon reached out to her. They have someone that works in Vegas that's moving to Silicon Valley, and they want to list their house. But Bernadette did all the work. But now she needs you to list it. Okay. And you get a referral fee. It's not a full commission. It might be a 30 or a 40% commission. It's not a 100% commission. Okay. Because she's giving you the lead. Okay. But just a heads up, if you get a phone call, email from Bernadette, that's a good thing. Call her back, find out what she's offering you. You could say no. You might not want to do it. Okay. If you're new and you're not sure what to do, see me or Wendy. We'll call Bernadette and find out what the details are. Okay. If you have not done commercial transactions before in your career as a realtor, you can't do them at Realty One Group. Initially, you have to do 3 transactions with another commercial agent as a referral, or you split it before you can do it on your own. There's too much liability. Errors and omission insurance doesn't cover you as a residential agent to negotiate a $16 million lease on a building. It's not the same as buying a $500,000 house in Mountain's Edge compared to leasing out a whole building for $16 million. So you can do it, but you can't do it by yourself. You have to reach out to your manager. They'll put you in touch with one of our commercial agents. You guys will work on it together, figure out a split of some kind. And if you do 2 or 3 of those with that agent's help, then after that, you can do them on your own. You don't have to use another agent to help yourself out, okay, to help during the transaction. And we do not do property management, meaning if you have an investor that rents out the house, you help them buy it. And now he says, you know what, Christy, do me a favor. I appreciate you helping me buy this house. As you know, I'm not going to live in it. I got to rent it out. Could you manage the property for me? Collect the rent, take the phone calls at night when the toilet bowl overflows. We don't do that. We did, but then we got rid of it a couple of years ago. Okay. So you cannot help someone. They are expensive. Yeah, I'm with you, Christy. Yeah. So you can't help them manage the property, but you can help them secure a tenant, or you can put their house on MLS as a rental listing and get paid for that. Okay. But once that listing gets rented or your tenant moves in, your job's done. Really important. Okay. If you get caught doing property management while a residential agent, okay, at Realty One Group and at a lot of other companies that do not do property management, you're going to get an enormous fine from the real estate division. I mean, thousands of dollars. Okay. Because we are not licensed to do that. So you can't work here and manage someone's property. So really, really, really important. Okay. I don't want to see you guys. I don't want to get a call from the division saying they're finding one of my realtors $1,500 because he practiced property management when we don't do that at Realty One Group. If you're not sure, come to me or Wendy or Jeff. We'll explain to you what you can or can't do so you don't get yourself in trouble. Okay, so kind of really important, the property management part. Questions about that, gang? Anybody have questions about that at all? Maybe. All right, you guys are really quiet. I'm assuming you know all this stuff, okay? So, but if there's anything that you're not sure about, just reach out to me, Jeff or Wendy. We'll make sure you're on the right track, okay? What else we got here? This is our Summerlin YouTube channel. Vianney and Suzanne do a great job of maintaining it. But can we do courtesy listings? Okay, Christy, very good question. We don't like the word courtesy listings. Well, let me ask Christy or Melissa, who else is on here, or Kathy, you guys have been around. What's a courtesy listing, in your opinion? What do you guys think it is?
It's when you list a property for somebody else but they don't call you. It's like Pulte, they have agents that do courtesy listings for them, but they're not the people who buy or sell the properties.
Okay, what's a rental courtesy listing, you think?
That's what the person just lists it, but it's usually managed by a homeowner.
Okay, so I'm your investor, right? I just bought the
Yep.
house.
Yeah.
You know, you made your 3%, and I say, Christy, do me a favor. I need a tenant. Could you list this on MLS for me?
That's a courtesy listing,
Okay, that's what.
as long as they don't manage it.
That's the vernacular. We don't like the word courtesy listing.
Okay.
Because it's a listing. Whether we do property management, it's a listing. It's no different than a for sale listing. You have to do a listing agreement. You got to do a duties owed. You got to do all the forms for a rental listing. So there's nothing courtesy about it because, you know, you're doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
You might even take the phone calls. When Ricky at Remax calls you up, you might take the phone calls and answer some of those calls, but they should be directed to the owner. Let him or her answer those calls, those questions, because you're not the manager, okay? So all I'm saying is that you can help your investor list the property, but we don't like the word courtesy listing. We just call it as a listing. It's just like a for sale listing. The only difference is you're going to make $300 instead of $15,000 in a lot of cases, if you know what I mean, okay? Or like Carol said, no commission. Well, yeah, Carol, you could be nice, but I'm a believer that I don't want to work for free. I don't care if it's my brother's house. And if I'm finding him a tenant, he's going to pay me $300 or $400, you know, because I'm a professional realtor. I want to get paid, you know. Keep in mind, a lot of your family and friends will take advantage of you thinking that because you're a realtor, you work for free or you work for a dramatic discount, you know, because you're related to them. That's bullshit, in my opinion. I'm not saying don't help them out, but you know, if their, you know, brother was a doctor and they need surgery, the brother's not going to do the surgery for free. No, of course not. He's going to get paid. Okay.
Are we maxed out at $300?
No, you can charge whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
Charge them $3,000. You
Okay.
know, but the majority of rental listings, that the landlords don't want to pay much. You know, they want to pay $200, $300, $400, $500. And then you got to convince them to give money to the other agent, the co-op agent, and that number is no longer an MLS, as most of you know. Okay, so that's why you got to be careful. You know, you help the guy buy the house. He's great. He's grateful to you. You made your 10 grand on that $350,000 home he bought. Now he wants you to help him rent it, and he thinks your services are free for all that stuff, but they're not. Okay, I'm not saying if you want to give him a break and work for free, you can. Okay, but I wouldn't. You know, for me, it sets a bad precedent moving forward. You know, he's going to think everything is free after that. And when you go to sell the house for him in 2 years, he's going to beat you up over the fee. You're going to charge him for listing that house when he goes to sell it. So you just gotta be careful. That's all. But you can it's at your discretion, like Melissa put in there. But just like you said, be consistent. You got to be careful. You know, if you take a listing for a family and you charge them 3%, okay, and then 6 months later they send in their brother to sell his house. Okay, and you give the brother 1.5%. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't do that, but if that gets back to the people that referred them to you, they're going to be pissed. Hey, Tim, you charged us 3%. You charged my brother 1.5%. What's up with that? So those of you that are new to the business, you'll realize this stuff as it happens. but just be careful. You want to be consistent. You don't want to be all over the place with that kind of stuff because it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. Like it really, really will. This is our YouTube channel for Realty One Group. So just go to YouTube, type in Realty One Group Summerlin, the page pops up. Try to visit it every now and then. Please subscribe to it because we post a lot of stuff on there. And the Northwest also has their own page, okay? But I think it's under Jeff's name, okay? So if you go to YouTube, search Realty One Group Summerlin. If you're in the Northwest, or even if you're Summerlin, you want to get Jeff's page, you search Jeff Wallenfang, okay? The YouTube channel is under his name, okay? And as you can see, these are all videos of things that we post. Meetings, training classes, little short videos on changes to forms, things like that. So this is the YouTube channel for Summerlin. That's the YouTube channel for the Northwest office, okay? Some other stuff that you need to know. What time is it here? We got a couple more minutes, okay. You're going to need post-licensing if you're brand new within your first 12 months. And then after that, every 2 years, you'll need CE classes, okay? We pay for it. We're pretty generous here. As long as you go to Key Realty School, either live or on Zoom, we'll pay for it, okay? So don't forget, post-CE. We have rev-up classes every Wednesday and Friday. Once you get into zone, we have a calendar in there also that's updated. And for those new agents, the onerealtyresource.com, that's in blue, is your lifesaver on how to fill out forms. And there's a password to it, unbrokerage. Okay, so if you're brand new, if you're Carol, if you're, I don't know who I'm looking at here. I can't see everybody's faces, but you know who you are. Okay, maybe Maggie. Hey, Maggie Wells, or Jacob, or Gavin, Erica, or I don't mean to, not so much Melissa, Kathy, or Christy, because they've been doing it for a while. Okay, they don't need to go to a web page to learn how to fill out an RPA. They've been doing it for years. But all of you other folks that I mentioned that are new, when you have time, go to onerealtyresource.com, type in unbrokerage, and voila, a variety of videos will pop up on how to fill out the RPA, how to fill out a listing agreement, how to fill out a counteroffer, how to fill out the BBRA, how to fill out everything, for the most part, okay? And also there's videos on there that we've saved at different classes that we've done also. So if you're new, and I mentioned your name, onerealtyresource.com, unbrokerage is the password. If you work for me, Jeff, or Wendy, which all of you do one way or the other, we're going to refer back to that website a lot as you're with us in the beginning. And if 2 months from now I say, you know what, do me a favor, Gavin, make sure go to One Realty Resource. And you look at me like I have 3 heads. Like, what the F is Tim talking about, One Realty Resource? That's not good because I've told you about it. Okay. So that website is going to be really valuable to new agents. Okay. So don't forget onerealtyresource.com and unbrokerage. Okay. Some other stuff you need to know. You do have a mailbox in each office, but it's in a white filing cabinet in Summerlin by the training room and in the Northwest behind Mackenzie and Katie. If you open the top drawer alphabetically, find your name. If you get mail, that's where the girls drop it in. Okay, so in the beginning, you're not going to get much mail, but if you do get mail over time, they drop it in a little folder for you with your name. So every now and then, check your mail. You might have some stuff in there. If it's a big package that's being delivered, the girls will call you to come get it. Okay, because we don't have room in that cabinet to put a big box. Okay, make sure you have the key fob. The key fob works 6 in the morning to midnight every single day of the year. Christmas, you want to come in, the key fob works. You want to come in 9:30 tonight. For some ungodly reason, the lights are on, the music is playing, the copier works up until midnight. Midnight, everything shuts down until 6 in the morning. Okay, so take advantage of those crazy hours, gang. I pick on Remax a lot, but there's so many times on a weekend I would go to my Remax office. You know, I have a 10 o'clock appointment to meet my buyers. I'd have to get there like 8:30 or 9 o'clock to figure out how to turn on the lights. How do I get the air conditioning going? Is the copier on? Like, it was a whole thing. It was a nightmare. So when they walked in, it looked like the office was up and running. Here, you come in here tonight at 11:30, the lights are on, the music's playing, you know, we're open for business. But at midnight, the place will shut down, okay? We have Wi-Fi in all 4 offices. If you look there, the word broker in some funny kind of spelling, I think I can highlight it here. Can I highlight this? Yeah. No, I can't. Oops. Okay. But right in there, broker, that's the password, the Wi-Fi password, when you come into the office for your phone or your laptop. How many of you have a laptop that you're going to bring to the office and use? I would think some of you, right? Okay. It's important that when you do that, send an email to that helpdesk@peakgs.com the day before you're coming in. And in the subject bar, you put connect my laptop to the printer. And then in the body of the email, hello, IT. This is Tim in Summerlin. I'll be in the office tomorrow. Could you reach out to me and connect my laptop so I can print? When you're here, they'll call you, and then they will remotely go into your laptop and download the printer drivers for our copier so you can print. Okay. And once they do it once, it works at all 4 offices. Okay. So on a Saturday morning in Green Valley, you can print from your laptop. Okay. But you have to send that email to help desk to make sure. Okay. If you have any computer problems or whatever, you're on your own. We can't help you with, any IT things that you have. I mean, we will if we can, but for the most part, whatever, if you have a laptop or whatever, it's your laptop. We can't help you service it or maintain it. Okay.
Tim?
Yes.
I did this in Summerlin, so they called me and they connected my laptop to the printer, but they told me it was only working for the Summerlin office, not for the other locations.
Ah, okay. Then they changed it. It might have been some security issue or
I mean,
something.
I didn't try in another office, but that's what they told me.
Okay. If you can, and you're bored, Carol, drive to Northwest tomorrow.
I'm in Southwest right now, so I
Yeah.
can type here.
Yeah, try to print. Yeah, that'd be a good thing. If it doesn't, then send that email to help desk again and say, hook up my, it used to be one download was for all 4 offices, but they may have changed it with security protocols and all this multi-function authentication that's going on. So they want to make sure it's you. So you might have to do it at each office, but in the past that wasn't the case, but I'm glad you told me that. Okay. What else? Either $50 a month or $100 a month are going to get hit to your debit or credit card that you gave us on file by the 5th of every month. Okay. Please make sure it gets paid by the 5th. If it gets paid on the 8th, they're going to charge you $50 for being late. Don't waste $50. Just pay it by the 5th. Okay. Please. Don't call me on the 10th. Say, hey, Tim, they charged me $50. Well, Christy, it was due on the 5th. Like I told you, I can't call corporate in Laguna Niguel and tell them to waive your $50. They're not going to do that. Okay. So please stay on top of your stuff. Make sure it gets paid by the 5th. We have a lot of private offices in Summerlin and Northwest. Most of them are rented out. But if you get to the point where you want to rent an office or share an office with someone, come see me. We're always moving stuff around, and we try to accommodate agents that are producing, that are working, that are putting in the time to get them an office. But right now, for the most part, they're all kind of rented out. Okay. If you're leaving town and you're a solo agent, tell Suzanne, tell Katie, tell me, tell Jeff, tell us. So if someone walks in looking for you or calls us and they don't know you're in the Bahamas, they're going to get pissed off at Suzanne or Mackenzie at the front desk because you didn't tell them you're in the Bahamas. So just let someone know that you're gone so they can help you out, work on your clients while you're gone. Okay. And particularly if you're new, if you're creating your own website, let's say, or you have a marketing piece that you want to create, or a really cool social media landing page, just run it by me, Wendy, or Jeff beforehand, just so we can take a look at it. Okay. Gavin, can you pay it in cash? You absolutely cannot pay it in cash. At least I don't think so. Okay. They don't want us, taking checks or cash or anything. If you gave us cash, then we got to go to the bank and deposit it. And me, Suzanne, or Vianney, or Wendy aren't going to the bank to deposit your $50. No offense. I'm just saying. So you need to get a debit card or a credit card, unfortunately. Okay. Melissa will help out any agent that goes out of town. Very nice, Melissa. Yes, Melissa. If you don't know Melissa Parker, everybody, you'll get to know her. She worked with us for many years ago. Now she's come back. Okay. Her travels have led us back to Realty Wonder Group, so we're thrilled that she's with us. She's a really good agent. She probably knows the company as well as I do, okay, because she was here way back in the beginning. So reach out to Melissa for stuff too. You can always count on her to help you out or give you some advice or kind of point you in the right direction. All right, gang, where am I at now? So we did the mailboxes, we did the offices. Okay, some of you are 100% commission. You pay $100 a month. Some of you are on the mentoring program, 70-30 for 3 deals. You pay $50 a month. You know that. We all know that there's an E&O risk management fee every February and August. That'll get added that'll get taken, that'll hit your debit card or credit card in addition to the $50 or the $100 in February and in August. Okay, so keep that in mind. A lot of agents will call in, hey Tim, it's August and you charge me $450. Yes, 100 plus the E&O risk management fee. Oh, that's right, I remember. Okay, so come August, your credit card is going to get dinged for a little bit more. And we do have a TC in each office. We have Maria, Northwest has Katie and Mackenzie. It's $100. It's well worth the $100 to help you coordinate the forms, learn how to use SkySlope, answer questions about forms. It's not a full-fledged TC. She's not going to call your client. They're not going to call title for you, but they'll do a lot of other things. So as you go back to the office, if you want to learn more about that, come see me. Wendy or Jeff will explain to you how the TC services work. Okay. We have Zelle. I recommend you all sign up for Zelle. You don't have to. If you want to get a paper check and go deposit it or cash it at Red Rock, Cage, you could do that like the old days. But I recommend using Zelle. Okay. Talk to the girls at the front desk. They'll show you how to set that up or scan that QR code. Okay. The one thing about Zelle though is that your file must be complete. Okay. Complete meaning all your forms are in SkySlope. Okay. Here's an example. The deal closes today, Wednesday. Your client signed this morning at 9 o'clock. Tomorrow at 11:30, we get your closing package. Tomorrow's Thursday. We cut the check and we want to give it to you on Friday, or we Zelle it to you on Friday, but you're missing something in SkySlope, which means we can't Zelle it to you. Okay. That means you'll get a paper check next week. Okay. So if you want it Zelled, it's important that your file is complete. Okay. Because if it's not complete and it takes you 2 or 3 days to get it complete, that Zelle turns into a paper check. Okay. As a matter of fact, someone just uploaded a Google form. I don't want to click on it. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, it's Suzanne. Okay. So that's the Google form on Zelle. That's in the chat box now from Suzanne. Okay. So really important if you want Zelle. I highly recommend it. Obviously, usually the money is in your account the next morning, like by 6 o'clock. It gets in so quick. It really is kind of cool. Okay. Some other stuff about the office. I kind of covered this already. This is kind of a duplicate slide that the Northwest threw in about monthly dues and our Facebook pages and all that kind of good stuff. We have meetings every Tuesdays and Thursdays for Realty One Group. Thursdays are Southwest and Summerlin, and Tuesdays is Green Valley and Northwest. I recommend you go to all the meetings if you can. Okay, obviously you're in Summerlin. I want you to come to my meeting, not Southwest. If you're in Jeff's office, go to his meeting, not Green Valley. Okay, but all the office meetings have great information, stuff that you can learn, you can share. Okay, and really important at the bottom, office weekly newsletter every Friday, a must read. 5 o'clock, you can set your watch to it. Between 4:45 and 5 o'clock every Friday, Suzanne or Vianney or Katie or Mackenzie are going to send you an email with our newsletter. Please click on it. Please, please, please. Okay, scroll through it, spend 5 minutes. Okay, that's the only way we get to tell you about stuff that's important. Okay, I can't make 475 phone calls to tell you guys about a new form. I can't. Suzanne can't. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so we post it on Facebook, we email it to you, and we send it in the newsletter. So please use the newsletter. We all need a couple of business licenses. If you're in Summerlin or Northwest, you need a state license and a city license. State, city. If you're not sure about how to get that, reach out to the front desk. There's 2 websites you go to. I think one license is $200. The other one is like $95. But these are mandatory licenses separate from your real estate license. Real estate license has nothing to do with this. Welcome to Nevada. We don't have an income tax, right? We brag about that, but they beat us up with all these other fees. I just registered my car, for the second year. It was $423. I don't have a Maserati. I got an Infiniti. $423 to register my car. Crazy. Anyway, so Northwest Summerlin, get your state and city license. Okay, that's Mark Otero's info on all of your forms where it says broker name and broker signature. You put Mark's name. You don't put my name. You don't put Jeff's name. You put Mark's name. Okay, but me and Jeff will sign it. Okay, Mark can't sign hundreds of documents a day for all 4 offices. So each office signs it, but we sign my name and above it says Mark Otero. Don't worry, it's legal. Everyone's good with that. LVR, real estate division, but you need to know his broker number and you need to know his expiration date. This NID stuff is if you happen to make an offer on a foreclosed, an REO property or a property that is bank owned in MLS. That's not happening a lot lately, but if you run across that type of property in MLS, come see one of us. We will explain to you what the NAID number is, okay? Anything that needs to be signed, Melissa, has to go through SkySlope, okay? Do not send me something to sign through AuthentiSign. No, no, no. Everything goes through SkySlope, okay? Then it comes to me, I sign it, and then it's in your SkySlope account, okay? So you need commission instructions. You need a BBRA signed. You have to upload it to SkySlope. Then it comes to me immediately and I sign it, okay? You'll learn more about that as you get a transaction. You'll be in touch with Maria and she'll explain to you how that works, okay? It's a pretty smooth process. It works out really well, okay? Everything must be in SkySlope within 72 hours, gang. So if you have an RPA, the offer was accepted today, you're opening up escrow tomorrow, that's got to be in SkySlope within 3 days. Very important, okay? The Realty One's group is thinking about fining an agent for not putting their paperwork in SkySlope within 2 or 3 days. Okay, the reason it's got to be in there is that if we get audited, or maybe a broker calls me, hey Tim, it's it's Dave Tina Senior. We have a problem, when your agent's in mine, could you pull up this transaction? And I go into SkySlope and your transaction's not there. And I have no idea what he's talking about. I look like an idiot. Okay, so it's truly, truly important you get your stuff into SkySlope within the first couple of days. Okay, so really, really important. Okay, that's stuff in your login overview that you'll see once you log into that. These are some of the other websites. That's the website for Key Realty School when you want us to pay for your post or for your CE, keyrealtyschool.com/ROGCE. But ask me or the girls, we'll explain to you how that part works. Okay, these are some other websites that that you can go to for the different, for us, for corporate, for the Northwest office, Twitter, LinkedIn. If you're into social media, all that stuff is there for you. We don't have a fax machine. Okay, you can fax, I think, from the office, but we cannot receive faxes. So keep that in mind. Okay, and at the bottom, this is the thing that drives me crazy, and I got to stop because I know Heather's on here and a few other people. We do not charge you for photocopies, gang. Not even color. Okay, I think Cuba is insane for doing it and not charging you. Sorry, I'm on the company side because a lot of agents abuse the copier. Okay, I come in on a Monday and there's 500 copies of the 5th grade, St. Mary's Catholic School, exam, because one of our agents is a school teacher and she used our copier to make 500 color copies of her exam or a flyer for school. Okay, that's what's gonna get us in trouble with corporate, and they're gonna start charging us. So please, please don't abuse the freedom that the fact that we don't charge you for copies. Okay, just that's my rant about that. Okay, all right, kids, that's all I got. Okay, I am gonna stop the share, and who do I see on here? All right, I see Waldeck is here, and I thought I saw Heather somewhere. There's Morgan. Okay, Wendy's coming in to say hello. I think there she is. Okay. Hey gang, how's Lisa doing? John, Heather, you guys good?
Great.
Doing great.
Wonderful. All right, gang. Sorry, I went a little bit over. Hey. So one of you speak up and tell everybody about your company and you and all that kind of good stuff.
Lisa,
wants
you're
to
in
go
your
first?
car. You want to go first?
Oh, that's fine. I'm happy to.
Okay.
Hey guys, hello. So many familiar faces. Glad to see everybody. Lisa Waldeck with Achosa Home Warranty. I stuck my contact information in the chat, so love you too, Melissa. Anyhow, just wanted to say hi, hop on here, let you guys know anything you need home warranty related. We do offer the free listing coverage for your listings. All you have to do is email me, text me with that information. I'll get that free listing coverage enrolled for you. If you're unsure on how to present that to your sellers during a listing presentation, let's talk, let's have a conversation, let's meet. The other thing too that we offer obviously is for the buyer coverage. All of our policies include HVAC, they include septic, they include well pump, they include water softener, all of your kitchen appliances, your washer, your dryer, and roof leaks. I know a lot of companies charge extra for a lot of those items. We include all of them in all of our policies, including our listing coverage. So I won't bore you too much with home warranty on this call. I'd like to sit down, meet with you guys, shoot me an email, shoot me a text. Let's get together and welcome.
Thank you, Lise. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And
You're
I know
welcome.
by some of you, Melissa and Christy probably know you. So Lisa's been a
Yes.
longtime vendor in town for a million years, you know, so we love her to death. So, all right, Heather or John, you guys want to say something? Flip a coin.
I'll go.
There you go.
Hi, everybody. I see a lot of familiar faces. I know I've met a lot of you guys in the office already. I am the sales executive with Rock Title, which is different than the escrow officer. So when you write us in on your contracts, don't put me, put our escrow officers. If you're not already working with somebody at Rock Title, I can make an introduction to one of our escrow officers. We have an office in Green Valley, and then the closer one is Russell in 215. We have 3 escrow officers out of there. If you sign, your clients sign at any of our Rock Title offices or any of the Realty One offices, there's no notary charge for signing, so keep that in mind. We do have some great tools, probably too many to go into detail on this call. That's why I've set up twice a month at the Northwest office and the Summerlin office. I call it Title Tools, and I'll go over everything that we offer. So in the Northwest, on the 13th, following their business meeting, I'm going to be downstairs in the office in one of their rooms because I don't think the other room is available next Tuesday. By the way, they are doing photos. So if you guys don't have a photo yet, you can go make an appointment in the Northwest with their photo guy. But I'll be there and I'll go over. And then in Summerlin, it's going to be on the 22nd of May on a Thursday after the sales meeting out here. So I'm going to go over Rock Agent, which is our NetSheet app. So I'm going to show you how to get in and get an estimated payoff or an estimated loan balance for your clients. Show you what they currently property taxes are. You can put your fees in there. Our fees are already pre-programmed in there. We have something called Altos Research, which you can pull up stats on a particular area, zip code, and it'll give you information on that property. We have Rock University. So if you guys are putting together listing presentations, buyer presentations, we have them already done in there for you. You can just customize it in Canva. I know Realty One also has similar stuff. We have tons of stuff, CE classes, trainings every Monday at 1 o'clock on Zoom. We have Realty One trainings. And then we also have the 3rd and 4th Thursday of each month, we have additional trainings for newer agents with Realty One tools. So again, too much to mention. I don't want to bore you guys on this call. Look for my posts on Facebook. I post a lot on there. You can follow everything that we do. So, and feel free to reach out to me. I have my contact information on the side in the chat. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Heather. My name is John Morgan with Epic Lending. I do a lot of loans, but I'm also a resource. So had my hands on hundreds of loans, but I've also had my hands on thousands of real estate transactions. So I've seen a lot of markets, a lot of states. Haven't seen it all. I'll never say I see it all because then I'm going to see something completely different. But really reach out to me, whether I'm doing the loan or not. We're all on the same team here. If something doesn't seem right, reach out to me, tell me what's going on. And I don't like to take loans because, like I said, I was a realtor a long time ago, my first life, and it sucks to change lenders in the middle of a transaction. So if I can help save that deal and help that lender get it closed, then let's do it because it's about the client. It's a situation where I have to jump in, then we do that too. We rescue loans as well and we close fast. So, but again, back to the resource piece, I teach a lot of classes, a lot of events. We do CE classes, lunch and learns. In fact, today we did the DISC assessment. That's always a fun class. And this afternoon we're doing Wind Down Wednesday. And that's a good opportunity for you guys to come into the offices and meet some of the other agents, hang out, get a couple drinks in these high producers, and their lips get a little loose. Their lips get a little loose, and they start sharing secrets, sharing information that might help. So, but usually they're pretty good about sharing information and trying to help you guys out. So, but we're at a different office every Wednesday with the Wind Down Wednesday. Today we're at Summerlin at 4 o'clock. So if you guys are in the area and you're not busy, swing in, say hi. But I run around at each office. I'm the only one right now here in Vegas. So you'll probably see me bouncing in and out of the offices, but my flyers are scattered at the different offices. Get the calendars and definitely go to as much classes, get your rev ups in, take rev up a few times. You know, you never stop with just one. You're going to learn something each time you take it. So the more knowledge you have, the better you're going to be. And glad to be here and glad you guys are here too. Thanks, Tim.
Tim, we cannot hear you. You have to unmute.
There you go. All righty. I told in the beginning, I told everyone we've done like 500 of these Zoom classes since COVID, and we still don't know how to do them. We still don't have a clue. It's a challenge every time I do the class, you know. But I don't see Stacia, and Nora couldn't make it. So you guys didn't get to meet Nora from AHS or Stacia from Old Republic, but come to the meetings you will. Okay. All right, kids. Also, all of you when you go back to your office, go to the front desk and make sure they show you where the mailboxes are and get you set up in the copier so you can scan and copy and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, because you're going to be scanning a lot. Okay, and just remind Suzanne or Vianney or Katie or Mackenzie to set you up. Say I spoke to Tim, spoke to Wendy. They said you're supposed to set me up in the copier. Make sure they do that. Okay, they're usually on top of it, but in case they forget or whatever, they'll do that for you because scanning is going to be something very important. If you have a scanner at home, that's great. So be it. You can do it that way. Anything you want to throw in before we let everybody go?
Nope. If I haven't met you guys, I am Wendy Schaller. I am the sales manager here at Realty One Group Summerlin. I have been an agent with Realty One for 16 years now, and their sales manager for the last 2 years. So my job is to work with all the new agents in the Summerlin office, reviewing all of your documents, helping you brand yourself, making sure you're all into the systems. I teach a lot of the classes on Mondays at 11 live here. We have Back to Basics. Then on Tuesday, the first Tuesday of every month, is Tuesday Tools. So we give you a back office zone, and there's a bunch of little tool tiles in there. So once a month, I'll pick one of those to dive deep into. Wednesday, we have Wednesday workshops are usually taught by our vendors, which is either Heather or John. Then we have our Wednesday and Friday Rev Up classes. So we also throw in there some CE classes. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Anything we do in the Summerlin office is recorded and put on our back office YouTube. So join that YouTube channel, join our Facebook groups. Everything is posted there. You don't have to go live to the classes, but if you want to, we would love to see you. Other than that, my office is down in the hallway, straight across from the training room. So if you guys need me, stop in and say hi. It's nice to meet all of you.
All righty, kids. Anything anybody's curious about? Sometimes on these onboardings, either me or Jeff, we just rant on for 45, 50 minutes and you guys just sit there. Drives me crazy. But anything ring a bell you want me to cover again? Anything about anything you're curious about? If you're on a team, is Damon driving you crazy? I can step in if he is, just let me know. Melissa said, not yet. Funny gal, Melissa, not yet. Okay, the problems are coming, I'm sure, but everybody's okay? As good as it gets? Okay. Well, listen, thank you all for hanging out for 90 minutes. If you want this presentation, email me. And I'll send it to you. So if you want to refer back to it in the future for different slides that have stuff on it, just shoot me an email. Hey, Tim, put in the subject bar, onboarding PowerPoint, and I'll just shoot it right back to you. So if you want it, you can have it that way too. Okay. Other than that, Lise, you good? Ms. Waldeck, anything else?
Good.
You all right? Okay. Wait a minute. Carol, is there a binder with all the docs? Well, Carol, that's a good question. Yeah, there is. But not for you. No, I'm only kidding. We have one for those that are in our mentee program, but you're on a team. So Damon should have a binder of some kind for you. And I'm sure he does. So just ask him. Okay. All righty, kids. Thank you again for your time. Wait, anybody else in my last question? No, that was just a thank you. Okay. All right, kids. Thank you for your time. I'll see you all real soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you.
Take care.